Welcome to Game 2 of this Marathon Cup, and it involves the DC Everest Evergreens and the Mosinee Indians here from Greenheck Athletic Facility with Steve Miller. I'm George Hirsch, and we are right now getting the starting lineups introduced to the very good crowd on hand. Game 1, it was West over the Merrill Wausau East Co-op Blue Jacks 7-0. Everest is coming in with an impressive victory over University School Milwaukee over the last weekend, and they are off to a great start. Mosinee hopefully will give them a challenge. Right now it's the Evergreens being introduced. Mike Yankee is the goalie. Where's number 1? The goalie for Mosinee, also number 1, Zach Bednar.
So they've done the national anthem for game 1, George, and so we're going to move right into the drop of the puck to begin the second game of the 2016 Marathon Cup. The 40th Marathon Cup started in 1977 by our friend and our former colleague, Coach Mike Laliberty, who was the coach at Wausau East High School. And so this long tradition of hockey in Marathon County continues tonight. And we couldn't be happier than to bring you this game from the Greenheck Ice Arena.
And this ice, as you mentioned, Steve, is wider than what most of these kids will play on.
Well, this ice is 100 by 200, and back in the day we called that an Olympic-sized ice sheet.
That was the term that we used.
Yeah, versus 200 by 85, the NHL-sized rink. So it's an advantage for the Evergreens because it's their home rink. They understand the bounce of the boards. They understand the dasher system. But for a speedy team, as Mosinee has been in the past, this is a great rink for a fast team.
Well, we'll see what happens as we get set for the face-off. Evergreens in their home green with the gold helmets. Mosinee in their blue and white with the white jerseys, blue pants and helmets. So they're very easy to, just differentiate when you're on the ice who's who. And we'll try to pick up the players as we go along with the lines. Right now the Evergreens are sending it down the ice, and there will be an icing call. So that gives us a chance maybe to go through that first line. For Mosinee in the goal, Zach Bednar, Grant Lindell, Colton Lewins, Trevor Erickson are among their first line. Face-off controlled by the Evergreens behind the net. That's J.D. Bardell, a defenseman, a junior. Gets it on the attacking zone. And now Mosinee counters, and here they come. Taking a shot from the blue line, grabbed by the goalie. He leaves for Sackman, Mike Sackman. Where's number 15? The Evergreens at center ice, skating with it. Seth Zaglinski dumps it in, goes over on the far side board, and contesting along the board, Spencer Schmerler of Mosinee, number 23. As right now it's just a matter of filling each other out as we just get underway here in just over a minute into this game. Back to retrieve for the Evergreens. Matt Lukasik, he's a junior defenseman. And a whistle.
George, you mentioned J.J. Bardell, number 5 for the Evergreens. He's 5'8", 150, but he is as quick as I've seen. There was a wonderful article about him today in the Wausau Daily Herald. He's an up-and-coming star for the Evergreens.
On the face-off. Pulled out of there by the Evergreens. And skating right up the middle. Lukasik in the green and gold. Into the attacking zone. Along the board. Now they try to cross-rink pass and in the at the point, but another icing call.
So you're right about the teams trying to feel each other out a little bit. You know, they're going into a tournament game, the Marathon Cup. Young kids, a little nervous, kind of getting the feel of the rhythm of the game so far. We're coming up on 15 minutes, so just 2 minutes into the game, but you can kind of see each other, each team testing each other out a little.
On the faceoff, the Evergreens control. Dump it down, near side boards on the other end of the rink from where we are right now. Standing behind the barrier to the left of the Everest goalie, or the Everest defensive zone for this first period. The Evergreens hoping to get into the final and take on the Warriors of Wausau West. Mosinee sends it down over the top of everybody, off the board, and the Evergreens counter in a hurry, and they are now in the offensive zone. And there you change their defensive players out there. Sackman is back out there along with J.J. Berdal at defense for DC Everest. And now they make additional changes. Out there is Ben Weller for Everest. We'll pick up Mosinee. It's easier to, Steve, it's easier to call the Everest. They got their back to us. We can see the numbers.
Well, that's it. And, you know, even though Mosinee's in the white with the contrasting numerals on their backs, it is a little difficult when they're coming at you. But that's the play-by-play job.
The
color job is to kind of fill in between. But you're right. It is easier to see them when they're going away from you.
Puck away down on the other end. Over to retrieve for the Evergreens, Berdell. I think we're going to mention his name a lot tonight, just watching the first couple of minutes here.
Well, one thing about him, and I've noticed in the first couple of shifts that he's been out there, he likes to get up into the play.
Yeah.
He's a very offensive-minded defenseman, but I really like the looks of him. He's just a young man, but he has great skills and great lateral movement that I've seen in the first few shifts here.
Okay, another whistle, and we'll have the face-off on the other end in the Mosinee defensive zone. Their goalie taking a look to his left where the face-off is in the red circle. So far, nothing breaking as far as scoring opportunities. We haven't had any penalties yet. Mosinee off the board in the neutral zone. Trying to get on the attack. Tell you what, the DC Everest Evergreens defensemen so far have been doing a real nice job.
They're standing up at the blue line. They're not giving Mosinee any access to the offensive zone.
Back to retrieve. Matt Lukasik trying to set it up. Now they get it right out in front, but it gets away from Austin Fletcher, the wing, who was right in front of the net, but he couldn't control the puck, and so the goalie had to grab a rolling puck.
He had a little trouble fielding that one on the way into the zone, but nevertheless it made it all the way to the goal. Goalie covered up to get us a whistle. 12:56 remaining in the first period.
Face off on the other side now in the circle. And controlled by Mosinee. Coming around the corner, the far board, Tyler Zelensky. He is a freshman forward. They have a lot of freshmen on their squad, a lot of sophomores. Mosinee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors. So they're a young squad. Very young squad, a lot of freshmen and sophomores. Back skating, Evergreen setting it up, dumping it in. Goes around the boards, near side. Trying to center it in front. Evergreens now control back in the neutral zone. Skating with it is Berdal. He dumps to the far board. And a whistle.
We talked about the tradition of the Marathon Cup hockey tournament, George. 40 years in the making. When I think about the Mosinee ice hockey program over the years, it's an amazing story with just loads and loads of young men who came out of that program to do great things. Playing at the University of Wisconsin, playing in the Mosinee Papermakers Senior Men's League in the state of Wisconsin, but probably at least 80 years in Mosinee of playing hockey. And that makes the DC Everest program relatively young in comparison, but nevertheless, two good teams here tonight in the second game of the Marathon Cup.
Yeah, Mosinee's, you know, they've been known for hockey, prep hockey, adult hockey programs, a hockey town.
You know, it's kind of reminiscent of the old Iron Range hockey towns.
Yeah.
You've got a
Yeah,
you've got a mill
Virginia
town.
cities and your,
Yeah.
you know, communities like that in the range.
Well, and so you have a mill town where back in the 20s and 30s they started to play ice hockey, and it's still going on today. So I couldn't be happier for the town of Mosinee to still continue to have an excellent ice program, and it's got to start with youth hockey. But DC Everest, as you mentioned, we're on this beautiful campus in this gorgeous rink, and the Evergreens are having a nice season so far.
Yeah, they're off to a great start. And on the face-off now, it's sent all the way down the ice for icing. Steve, I probably shouldn't say this, but the first play-by-play I did for Mosinee hockey high school was outdoors. They started out with an outdoor rink, and then they put a little shelter around, and then they enclosed it.
Sure.
So, you know, they've come a long way.
Well, I remember my high school hockey years playing there and played outdoors, and then the roof went over the top,
Yeah.
and then they put the curtain sides down,
Right.
and then they filled it in. So you're right.
Yeah.
You didn't mention any year, though.
No, I'm not going to.
That would have been like in the 60s, right?
No.
Okay, in the 70s.
70s.
Okay.
70s. Well, there's a lot going on the ice, but it really hasn't favored either team. Again, the Everest defenders have been doing such a nice job that even when Mosinee does get in their attacking zone, they are not able to hold on to it and get anything going with it.
So we've had just a little flurry here.
Yeah.
We've got Quinn Clark trying to establish position in front of the net, number 14. Tried to feather it out in front.
Oh.
There's a shot on goal.
Yeah, they got one off the
Brendan Hoover.
skate. Cross rink off the boards. Now in the neutral zone. Battling for the puck, getting it from Mosinee. Matt Ribick, senior forward. Mosinee and Everest, you look at them skating out there, they match up in terms of size.
Well, and I think that's what we've seen for about the first 7 minutes of the period here. When I talked about each team is trying to feel each other out, they look like they're equally matched strength-wise, skating ability-wise, and maybe even size-wise. But you did allude to the Evergreens and their skill set, but also Mosinee with the young players.
Face off to the right of the Evergreen goalie. And finally pulled out of there by the Evergreens and dumped in. From the red circle on the left, shot goes wide right. That was from the short side. Now here comes Mosinee and they dump it in. Player goes down in the process. Little board check, hip check behind the net here. Checked by Jacob Jacques of Everest, and he was involved with Colton Lewins. I think Colton's dad was a goalie for Mosinee, if I remember right. Mosinee. Oh, nice job. Poking it away by Jacob Jacques. Number 4 for the Evergreens, as it was like a one-on-one there, but he did what he had to do off balance, but he accomplished it. Now the Evergreens dump it back in.
Goalies like those defensemen.
Oh, yeah.
Make the save before the goalie has to make the save, but he did do a good job of coming back hard.
Here's another break right in the crease for Mosinee, but again, they really can't get that shot off. They can only get it so far. Now, setting it up. Shot. Save. Slap shot. Ty Tretter, number 7 for the Evergreens. The save in the goal. Zach Bednar. The goalie's a senior. That makes a difference.
So he's been around for a couple years. He might be playing in his 2nd or 3rd Marathon Cup. I don't recall about last year's goaltender for Mosinee. But a good scoring opportunity by Ty Tretter.
A whistle on the other end. We're going to have our first penalty.
Got an interference call coming against Mosinee. So the Evergreens will go on the power play. Well, might want to check that.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
sure.
going up on the Evergreen side of the board. It's interference called on number 13, Brendan Hoover. 2 minutes for interference that puts Mosinee on the power play and a shot right off the bat.
Yeah, and a stick save. So a power play in the blue and white. The Evergreens, nice slap all the way down and not icing, as the goalie had to deal with it, so they leave it for a teammate back there. And Everest, they're being aggressive. Exactly 8 minutes left here in this first period. No score from Greenheck.
Mosinee having a little bit of difficulty on the power play breakout. That's something that by this time of year you should have some kind of a rhythm to this. We've got a stoppage in play with 7:46 left in the first period. But there's got to be some rhythm to that breakout, and there really isn't anything established yet that would give us any indication that they have a specified power play breakout. So right now in the Mosinee zone.
Well, the Evergreens are right on top of them. Here's a shot, just a whirl and shot at the goal. And the goalie, was wide open. You could see it and was able to slap it aside. Now Mosinee finally across the blue line, skating behind the net with it, going all the way to the near side. Seth Payan, another senior, and slap shot, save.
Great setup by the Indians.
Yeah, that was going for the top shelf, and I'll tell you, he had something on it.
Excellent save by Yankee, but a good attempt by Mosinee. So talk a little bit about the rhythm on the breakout for the Indians. They got it into the zone and they put the puck on the net, which is the objective, with 45 seconds left in the power play.
Mosinee setting it up now at the point. Now they trying to get it behind the net. Now they've got them separated, back out, point, shot, another save.
Great save by Warnke, and it's a good low shot by Seth Payan. The idea is to keep that puck down and maybe get a tip out of it, get a screen in front, tip the puck past the goaltender. But so far, real good play by both teams. The Evergreens trying to kill this off, but Mosinee on the power play.
Everest and sends it down. That'll use up some clock. Down to 20 seconds left in this penalty. Mosinee across the blue line, all the way. Shot, hit the crossbar, I believe. Now the Everest brings it back out, and Mosinee keeps it in front. Oh, right in the creep. I'll tell you what, Mosinee set up a couple of nice opportunities.
Beautiful
there.
Scoring opportunities, George.
They
Great goaltending by
score,
Yankee, and a good
Yankees.
clearing by Everett by the Evergreens. That was the best chance of the night for either team to put one in the net.
Yeah, 2 in a row there they had. One hit the crossbar and the other the goalie took care of.
We used to call those 2 for $1. But you want to put one in.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to bury one.
Yeah. You don't get those opportunities that often. And of course now it's full strength as the penalty is over, so it's 5-on-5 again. And with 6 minutes left in this first period, it's been a fast-paced first period. Not a lot of scoring opportunities, a lot of defense on both ends. Here's Evergreens on the attack. Now they go at the point. Matt Lukasik, Seth Jagsensky are in there now. There's a shot and a save by the Mosinee goalie, Zach Bednar. He's 6'1", 190 pounds. That's a goalie.
Good sized kid.
Yeah,
he covers a lot of space in the net. He reminds me of one of our technicians who used to play in the goal and covered a lot of space too, David Dickinson. What a terrific goaltender he was. He was Coach Lalaberty's favorite, I think.
Oh, I knew you'd get him in there somehow.
So Coach Bradford.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
He was a West Sider.
Oh. Okay.
Don Bradford, the second coach at Wausau West High School.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Mike Lalaberty likes David. Mike likes everybody.
Right. Well, back to hockey on the rink here. You are a color guy, Steve. I'm going to give you that. Here's a shot. Glance off the goalie. Goes in the corner. Mosinee. Under 5 minutes left in this first period. They send it to, and it goes all the way, and then it's going to be grabbed by the Evergreen. Up along the far boards. Up into the neutral zone, across the blue line on the attack. Nice board check over on the far side. That over there is such a long distance, Steve, it's hard even to see the numbers.
Well, the thing that I'm impressed with now, we talked a little bit about the Evergreens having their home ice advantage. They're on this ice surface every single day. And on the last breakout, it was really clear to see that the defenseman knew where he was in space.
Yeah.
The wing got down to his position on the half boards. And within 2 passes, we're in the neutral zone, and that's exactly what you want to have happen.
Well, off the face-off now, the Evergreens keep it in behind the Mosinee net. Now it's out in the slot, or at the point, I should say. Everest trying to, a little off-balance shot there. It was a shot toward the goal, but he didn't have anything on it because he was falling down. Oh, checked into the board. Mike Sackman was checked into the board by Mike Alfonso for Mosinee that time. A clean check. A couple more down right in front of us. A pair, Ryan Begley and Michael Alfonso. Alfonso's on the ice a couple times here in the last minute. Another check in the boards.
It's good aggressive play, George, but it's good clean play at the same time.
Yeah,
no penalties called, but it is a physical contact sport, and so we've seen a couple good checks so far.
Well, I think this game is more evenly matched. We talked about height, weight, size, speed, everything. This is so even, you're going to see more of it.
I think so.
We didn't see a lot of that in that first game. We got a penalty coming up. I don't know if it's a high stick. I didn't catch the signal.
Well, the Evergreens are going to be shorthanded, so the penalty goes against the Evergreens.
So each one
trying to pick up the call from the official. I saw it from a distance, but I haven't seen him as he's over at the scorer's table. But we'll try to pick up what the penalty was. It appeared to be high sticking.
That's what I thought it was, but
the motion he made looked to me like it was high sticking. We don't have anything up on the scoreboard yet in terms of what number player it is. There is
no penalty. It's 5-on-5, Steve.
All right, so I'm not sure about the stoppage of play.
Yeah, I'm not either. They did stop it in the middle of action, and I didn't see, So the PA announcer still talking about it. What is it, coincidental? No, they would put, now there's another whistle. It's 5-on-5 out there.
So there's a possibility that it was a coincidental penalty. That would mean one player for each team is off, and they don't put it on the board. They record the time, and after 2 minutes elapses, then the player came off. Players go back on.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay, that kind of makes sense. That's what I thought after a while. There's a goal. The Evergreens, 5-on-5 from the left circle. They score first with 2:33 left in this first period.
The goal scorer appears to be Jacob Jacuz. We'll wait for the PA announcer and make sure that we get this.
Well, I don't know. I can't decipher PA announcer what he's saying, but we'll pick it up. Now we're back in action in the Evergreens with a 1-0 lead now, setting it up in their defensive zone. Nice pass up ahead. It's going to be handled by the goalie, so no icing.
So with 2:33 left in the first period, Jacob Jacuz, number 4, the defenseman, gets the goal. but because of the acoustics in here, we're just not picking up what the assists were. We'll get those to you at the end of the first period. But just want to remind folks that you're watching the game that was recorded by Wausau Area Access Channels. It will be rebroadcast on Charter Cable Channel 981, and we hope you're enjoying this rebroadcast. More to come on that.
On the face-off, the puck in the attacking zone yet for the Evergreens. Time of possession definitely favors Everest. But a lot of that has to do with their defensive. Their two defensive, each line do a real nice job of keeping Mosinee back, making it difficult for them to get something going. They've had a couple going, but a couple shots on goal.
Right now, Mosinee's having a tough time breaking the puck out of the zone. They're just a little bit disorganized on the break. The wings aren't in a good position to receive the puck from the defenseman, and then the Everest defensemen are stepping down and taking the wings out of the equation on the breakout.
Well, you can see that because every pass that Mosinee made, now last time down, there was nobody there. So they were depending on, there's no sweeping action, that kind of thing going on. And it was a matter of who gets to the puck first.
Exactly, and that's what's happened. It's the Evergreens who are a little quicker to the loose puck, and you're going to win that battle every time. If you're quick to the puck, you'll win that battle. We're already under a minute remaining in the first period, where the Evergreens won, coming off a goal by Jacob Jacuz, and Mosinee 0.
On the faceoff down on the other end, Mosinee defensive zone. Indians trying to just clear it out right now. And there's I don't know if that was a shot or a deflection, but the goalie had to put the pad on it. Stop action.
He picked it up. We have a stoppage in play right now with 45 seconds remaining in the first.
Evergreens control the faceoff. Keep it in. Along the board. To our left. Now they go around behind the net. Set it up at the point. Around the horn. The boards. Far side. Puck finally sent down. And icing. So then with 21 seconds left here now in this first period. Face off to the left of the Mosinee goalie.
Let's see if we can finish off my sheet here that I've been directed to give. We just want to remind you all of the recording of this game, and if you're interested in buying a copy of tonight's game on DVD, please call our office at 715-261-6550 and leave a message. The cost is $10 plus shipping and handling, and trust me, years from now, you'll be glad that you bought that DVD.
Well, that's one of the things that I know from experience over the years. Parents, players coming up and mentioning they have a copy of something that their boy did or they did, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Sure, and
it's a keeper.
That's right. We're in the digital age, and this will be worth it for a long time. So at the end of the first period, the DC Everest Evergreens 1, the Mosinee Indians 0.
We are back here at Greenheck Athletic Facilities for more of the Marathon Cup. After one, it's 1-0 DC Everest over Mosinee. Stats from the first period, Steve.
Let's take a look at the scoring for the Evergreens. The goal was scored by number 4, Jacob Jacuz, with the assist going to number 8, Ben Weller. Saves in the first period for DC Everest, Michael Yankee, 5, and for Mosinee's Zach Bednar, 12. So the Evergreens out shooting the Indians. Back to you, George.
And now right off the faceoff, the Evergreens now will be in the offensive zone here, and they had a soft shot out in front with no problem for the goalie for Mosinee to handle it. It is Zach Bednar in the net for Mosinee, and Mike Yankee, Jr., for DC Everest. So it's Bednar to our right here as the Evergreens are on the attack out at the slot inside. from the point to the slot to the other side. A couple of passes for the green and gold Evergreens. Mosinee in the white jersey. Easy. Go ahead.
No, go, George.
It's easy to follow, who's who here in this one with those different school colors. Evergreens back to retrieve. I think the difference so far in this game has been the defense of DC Everest, keeping Mosinee from really mounting much. Only what, 3 saves? No, 5. 5 saves in that first period. Oh, there was a check in the board with the puck. You don't see that often. Here's a shot off to the left from the short side here. Went to the far side. Everest. And goalie has the puck outside.
Save made by Bednar. A little bit of pressure now, and he handled it well. His defensemen are probably not giving him as much of an opportunity as they should be, but nevertheless, he made the save, and the faceoff will come to the right of Bednar.
And a new line for DC Everest. Matt Lukasik, Zeglinski, Sockman, Threader, Burdell, all on the ice for Everest. And they are on the attack here to start this second period. Now around the goal, Ben Pelican. Puck in front. Here's a shot from the point on the far side. Pulled out of there by one of the defensemen for Mosinee, but it's right back in there, and off the glove, dumped in the behind. The goalie getting a workout here. Mosinee trying to get it out.
Well, we're seeing Zach Bednar's veteran status, George.
Yeah.
He stays tight in the net. He's made a couple great saves. He's kept Mosinee in this right now so far in the second period. Excellent job.
Mosinee on the attack again after a little reprieve for Mosinee. Here's a shot. Oh, right in the right in between the red circles in the slot, and it was too high. Went up over the bar. Back to retrieve now. The Everest unit finally getting control of the puck. Dumping it all in. And back to retrieve right in front of us, Mosinee, number 20. That's their first group. Trevor Erickson, part of that. Puck up in the air. I know there's a term for that, Steve, but it's not a pop-up. I know that.
I don't know what you call that.
Well, there is a term when the puck goes up in the air like it did off that stick.
It would be a puck in the air.
Yeah, okay. I'll find out what it is.
I'll figure something out. I'm going to make one up. A pop-up is in baseball.
Yeah.
There's no infield fly rule out here. This is hockey.
Right.
Anyway, we had a puck in the air. We've got a stoppage of play.
A saucer pass.
Well,
no, that's a pass.
That's debatable.
Yeah,
that's a saucer pass. But we do have a penalty that's been assessed to the Evergreens. Number 5, J.J. Burdahl, will be sitting for 2 minutes. Mosinee will now go on the power play, and they're in the Evergreens end to boot. So set it up and move the puck around, and the puck's already been cleared by the Evergreens.
Yeah, the saucer pass is actually a pass. This was a deflection. So there's a difference. Mosinee on the attack right now, wrapped out in front of the net, and whoa, boy. I think it is a goal.
They've got it. The referee is signaling it's a goal. The first one was a save, and the second rebound shot went in. So it looks like the Evergreens are disputing the call.
They are.
But the far left corner official had his arm extended, indicating that it was a goal for Mosinee. Now, nothing has been placed on the scoreboard yet, but we do have an official going over.
It's up there now.
All right, so the official's going over. We're going to try to catch the scoring on this.
Wow, that changed this thing in a hurry, huh? And that was a power play, right? Didn't take them long. Now they're at full 5-on-5 because of the goal there. The Evergreens are still talking to the officials about that. The goalie was flat on his back. And the first time he was able to handle the puck, and then the second time, it looked like it ran right by his head, right by his helmet. Hard to tell, we're quite a ways away, but it's going to stand. As they blow the whistle, and the discussion is over, and the game is tied. 2:40 or 12:40 left, second period. On the face-off, the Evergreens back to retrieve. You catch it? I thought it was number 3, but there's no number 3, so. No. Oh, yeah. Trey Fitzgerald with the assist. Grant Lindell with the goal, I think. 3 and 2. I think. Okay, back in action now. The Evergreens on the attack. And they've had the puck most of the time here in the second period. Here's a goalie pouncing on the puck in the crease, just outside the blue
Quick shot by
semicircle.
Quick shot by the Evergreens, and another great save by Bednar. So the Evergreens come right back after that goal, put some pressure on immediately, and they are in control in the Mosinee end. We apologize for not getting you the exact scoring, which is one of my pet peeves, but I'm going to tell you folks, the acoustics here are very difficult for us, and we're having a hard time hearing the public address announcer.
Well, I basically I guessed on that one, but I could hear the assist. That one I got.
That went to Fitzgerald. We know that much.
Yeah.
Number 3, Trey Fitzgerald, got one of the assists.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get it for you by the end of or beginning of the third period.
There's a puck up in the net behind the goal off a stick. Face-off will be right in front of us here to the left of the Bednar, the goalie from Mosinee.
So we talk about changes in momentum.
Yeah.
Let's see what this goal does for Mosinee. I think it's going to be a real lift for them. They already seem to be more aggressive since scoring that goal. So it's 1-1, 11:27 left in the second period.
You know, one of the things that you kind of watch for too in hockey, Steve, is you have a change of line, and sometimes one group comes out and they're gung-ho and ready to go, and the next line comes out, and it's like, okay.
But that's the beauty of the sport.
I know.
1 minute shifts, you've got lines changing, and you've got changes in momentum, and we got a flurry out in front of the Mosinee net.
Wow, do we ever.
So the referee...
Oh, there is going to be a penalty. I could have called that one.
Colton Lewins is on his way to the penalty
Yeah.
box, waiting for the official's call. It looks to be roughing on Lewins. 2-minute penalty on the Indians, so that puts the Evergreens back on the power play for 2 minutes at 11:18.
Well, there was a scrum there, Steve, and he came in on the outskirts of the action and pushed somebody over the goalie.
Well, then it becomes all about defending your territory.
Right,
Stay out of the way of
absolutely.
my goaltender and don't run
Sure.
into my guys.
Yeah,
And then push comes
absolutely.
to shove. But Lewins is in the box for 2 minutes. The Evergreens are on the power play.
And that changes things too. Puck behind the Mosinee net. Tried to be sent down, but it wasn't. Intercepted by the Evergreens, who come around to the near side, and they tried the cross-rink pass. It didn't go all the way. And now the Evergreen goalie comes out as there was a potential breakaway there. Number 14 for Mosinee, heading for the puck, Matt Ribick, but he didn't get there. The goalie got there first in a protective mode. Evergreen slot off the pads, rebound, pulled out by Mosinee. Number 10, Seth Payan, dumps it in. Time for a little line change for Mosinee in particular. Everest with 1 as Ben Weller comes out there, number 8, at one of the wings. Everest setting it up. 45 seconds left in the power play for the Evergreens. They really haven't. Little check in the boards, gets the crowd into it. Puck along the far boards. Frozen along the board for a few seconds now. The Evergreen player slaps it out, and they set it up. They set it up with 14 seconds left now in the power play. So far, penalty killing unit for Mosinee's done the job. Back out in the slot. Shot, goalie save. Rebound attempt, blocked by number 20 of the Evergreens, Trevor Erickson, the senior defenseman.
And we have another penalty coming, George. It's a cross check. It appears to be on the Evergreens. I'm not sure that the player is aware that he's taken a penalty. And I'm going to check that. It's number 3 for Mosinee, Grant Lindell, who has 2 minutes in the penalty box for cross-checking. So a little bit of that extracurricular activity in front of the net. And so now for 2 seconds, it's 5-on-3, and then we'll go to 5-on-4 with the expiration of that first penalty to Colton Lewins.
Opportunity Evergreens tied at 1 here in the second period. They scored the lone goal in the first period, but the Indians came back to tie it. And now, one-man advantage. Evergreens setting it up. Here's a shot from the point. Near the blue line. Glove saved by the goalie, Bednar.
Nice save from Bednar. A little bit of traffic in front, but he did have a clear line of sight to the puck. Made a good save, a stoppage of play. So the face-off is to the left of Bednar.
On the face-off, Evergreens control, and they, again, have a minute 40 left in a power play to get the lead back. And they've set it up behind the net now. They go over to the wing. Now they go back out on the slot. Saved by the goalie, slap back in. Again, 2 shots on goal that time. Seth Zaglinski had a rebound just to the left of Bednar, and he couldn't move his stick enough to put it in the net. He could only put it toward the goalie, hoping for a rebound or off his pads or something.
Great pressure by the Evergreens, but good defensive play on the man short by the Indians, and another great save by Zach Bednar.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Evergreens have minute 18 left. Now they put it over on the far point. Now they come to the near point. Pass off the board. Exchange of positions here as they set up. Shot off a defensive stick. The stick of Seth Bion, senior defenseman. Evergreens have it. Shot off a pad of a defender. Now they go to the far side, put it out in front, hoping for an opening. It's not there. So they go back behind the net again. And it's sent over to the near point. Now they set it up on the wing. Right in front of us, number 9, Dalton Weller. He plays with Seth Zaglinski back and forth. Now they set up the shot and never got to the goalie. 15 seconds left in the penalty now. Again, right in front of us. The defender for Mosinee, Spencer Schmerler. And we're down to the last second. And a shot and a goal with 1 second left in the power play. In fact, it went away when the shot was in the air. The slap shot, I don't know. Do you think maybe Mosinee relaxed a little bit?
I don't think so, and I was just going to say what a great job they did for almost 2 minutes to kill off those 2 penalties, and how demoralizing for the Indians to have fought and fought and fought.
Yeah,
and on a beautiful shot by the Evergreens, it's now 2-1
and
with
really,
7:18 left.
It was an open shot. There was nobody there other than the goalie, and it was, off his shoulder, top shelf, 2-1. Everest in front, 7:18 left, full strength. Both squads, period number 2. I got the assist, number 18, Steve. That's Seth Zaglinski. He's got the assist. And a whistle. I think we're going to have another penalty. Well, the second period has been a little more aggressive overall than the first.
It's kept us on our toes for starters as your announcers, but I'll tell you what, aggressive play. Mosinee takes a penalty, number 14. Matt Herbeck is out 2 minutes for tripping.
Yeah, I saw the signal, so I knew it was tripping. I didn't know which team. So now the Evergreens now with a 2-1 lead have an excellent opportunity to add to that. 1 goal margin. Puck frozen along the boards, now kicked out of there by the Evergreens. They've got their pair, Ty Treader and Ben Willer out there. They're two wings or forwards in this power play. That's their top power play unit out there. Now they go to the near side into the corner, right down in front of us again. Number 13 is Brendan Hoover. He's a junior. Hoover has it. Poked away by Grant Lindell of Mosinee. Along the boards. Hoover again, setting it up. Cross rink, across the blue line on the attack. Here comes Hoover. Stick checked away by Colton Lewins. Evergreens. Boy, this Hoover's handling this power play.
Yeah, he's all over the place. You know,
it's his.
The power play is pretty well organized, but I'll have to tell you, giving credit again to the Mosinee Indians and their man short. They're killing it well again. And had it not been for that 1 second lapse, as you kind of alluded to, we'd still have a tie game here. But the Mosinee man short is very, very effective. They're very disciplined in playing that box, the strategy to keep the Evergreens on the perimeter. They've done a good job. So 20 seconds left on the Evergreens power play, but it looks like Mosinee can kill another one off here.
Well, whoa, this was off a defender's glove over the top of the net into the glass. But a little, the ref's standing there watching these two guys just kind of bumping each other. 23 and 6.
And no call.
And no call.
And it could have been interference very easily. And I'm not disputing the no call part of it.
Yeah.
But it did get a little chippy out in front. Yeah. But nevertheless, it's now 2-1. The penalty has expired, and again, Mosinee man short has really done an excellent job of fighting off the Evergreen power play.
Ryan Begley's the boy that was involved, the player for the Evergreens. He went over the official when the whistle blew to make his point.
Please, sir, take a look.
Yeah.
Watching the slot, see what's going on there. I'm getting beat up down low.
Well,
I thought I heard him say that anyway.
Well, you paraphrased it, if nothing else.
Well, I can't hear the PA system, but I can tell what these kids are saying to the official. How about that?
Yeah.
Sure.
4:47 left second period. 2-1 Evergreens. Full strength. Face off. Neutral zone. Controlled. Evergreens. All the way around. Oh, they tried to put it in front of the net, but it hit the side instead, and so comes around on the near side. And it's grabbed by Brandon Hoover. We've said his name a lot here in the last couple minutes. Along with Ben Weller. Now Mosinee trying to dig it out of there.
We got a delayed call coming here.
The goalie's leaving, and
we're going to have a penalty.
Yeah. Well, let's see how long it takes. Now the goalie's going to pounce on it, so that'll be it. Boy, penalties.
So
Steve.
Interference call on Mosinee.
They've had 3 in a row.
Well, and that's, you know, I've got to put my coach's hat on for a second here. That's undisciplined play. And any time that you take penalties, you're always putting your team A at a disadvantage B, you're giving the other team an advantage and a better chance to score a goal. So Mosinee coach are going to have to talk to the kids and have them settle down a little bit. There's a lot of time to go yet. There are a lot of goals to be scored yet. But we've got Mike Alfonso going off 2 minutes for roughing.
Well, now it's another power play, and the Evergreens set it up. Right across front of the crease over in the far corner. Back skating with it. For this unit, Jacob Jacos, who's got a goal tonight for the Evergreens, one of their two. Now Mosinee was able to clear it out, use up some of the clock, but here come the Evergreens toward us. Mosinee sets up the box, as Steve mentioned, right on front with a nice pass, but teammate a little bit late. Timing wasn't there. Idea was great.
Great rush by Berdahl.
Dalton Weller back skating now with it. Berdahl handling the puck. Shot. Oh my gosh.
Look what I found.
Whoa, the goalie was falling down when he reached up for that.
That was a big league. Whoa. Oh man.
I mean,
that's the save of the night, George, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he was falling down. He lost his balance and he just reached up to get that puck, which would have been, you know, under the bar.
Oh man, that was a beauty.
So now there's 55 seconds left in the penalty, 2:55 in the period. And there's another shot, and this time it's a breadbasket save. Well, that goalie from Mosinee, you know, they were outshot. What was it? In the first, like 12-5 or something?
12-5 in the first period.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's in that neighborhood in this one.
But we talked about his size, we talked about his skill, we talked about the fact that he's a senior, and it shows. He's made some amazing saves tonight, with that last glove save being just fantastic.
Well, we're down to 35 seconds in the power play for Mosinee. And they skate right across the crease, but can't get a shot off. And then it's sent down the ice. And the Evergreens back to retrieve. On the transition. Across the blue line. Setting it up. Here's a shot off the, looked like the skate pad that time. All the way around the horn out to the slot. Setting it up with 5 seconds left. Here's a shot off the goalie. Another save. Now we're at full strength. Another shot. Stick save for the goalie. Wow, is he busy, huh? Puck around the far side. It's been on this end of the ice for quite a while.
Been great pressure by the Evergreens. Mosinee on the break here gets it into the zone. Still a little trouble on the forecheck, and the Evergreens are going to come out with it.
Yeah, but it is, you know, full strength now for both squads. So,
and commendations again to the Mosinee man short.
Yeah,
they
no kidding.
They have this down pat, and congratulations to those kids. This is early in the season for them to look that polished against the Evergreens.
Well, there's a pass. The goalie comes out and leaves it for a teammate. So the Evergreens now will be in a face-off with the Mosinee Indians on this end.
Despite the penalties,
this
period has moved right along. We're down to 1:16 already. With the Evergreens, they had 2-1. But the period is just about coming to a close with some really, really good play and some excellent opportunities by both teams in a close game.
On the face-off, Mosinee behind their own net, trying to clear it out. That's Max Bestie, a freshman forward, number 9. Still has it, now gives it up to a teammate. Mosinee on the, well, they're on the blue line on the attacking zone, but now they lose it again, and we're inside a minute now, left period number 2. Tell you what, Steve, Mosinee, if they can keep this deficit at 1 goal with all those penalties and everything that the pressure the goalies had, they've got to feel pretty good about that.
Absolutely, that's a moral lift to know that you fought off these Evergreens for the number of penalties that they have. But now it's time to take the puck down to the other end and put one in to tie this thing up.
Well, they haven't had many chances. Oh, a nice pass. The Evergreens shot off. And they've got one more opportunity. 20 seconds here, and they still have it. Mosinee unable to get it out of there off the side of the net. The Evergreens still trying to get something out of there. Number 5, J.J. Burdell. He's making every effort to get something going. And we're down to less than a second, and that's the buzzer. We've played 2 from Greenheck. And it is DC Everest in this Marathon Cup semifinal 2. The Mosinee Indians 1.
15:50 left in the third period. The Evergreens on the move up the ice. J.J. Burdall, wide wing pass into the Mosinee zone. We apologize for that break in the action. We had a little difficulty, but we're back at the action. 5:30 remaining.
Let's make it 15:30 and then we're on, Steve. Okay, we're at Greenheck Athletic Facility, which is attached to DC Everest High School. And we're in the Marathon Cup third period of the second semi-annual or semi-final game. And here's a goal. Well, we got back for this at least.
Evergreens put one on the board.
Yep.
Great shot.
So we'll check on how it happened, but that's a big goal. I mean, to start the third period after they led 1-0 after the first period, 2-1 after 2. They each had a goal in the second period. Now, a couple of minutes in the third period, they go up by 2 goals. And Mosinee all night has had trouble getting any kind of an attack going. So that's a big one. Another shot on goal down on the other end. The Evergreens on the attack on the far side of the rink. Everest 3, Mosinee 1. Marathon Cup semifinal. The winner of this game will take on Wausau West in the final. West.
So the goal by Hoover gives the Evergreens a 2-goal lead with 14:27 left in the third.
Hoover is a senior or a junior wing in that second line for the Evergreens. But that is big because Mosinee hasn't really had a, well, there's a shot from the point, but you know, clear open for the goalie. And in the net for Mosinee, Zach Bednar, he's had himself a night. He's been busy. He's done a great job. And the fact that the Evergreens only have 3 goals, a lot of that is because of him.
Well, in the second period, we haven't had a chance to talk about the saves yet because of our difficulty getting back down here. But in the second period, for the Evergreens, it was 1 save.
Okay.
But for Bednar of Mosinee, 17 saves, giving him a 2-period total of 29. So
29 to 6.
Yeah, he has seen a lot of pucks tonight.
Yeah. Well, they haven't been down here. They had 1 shot here in the first couple of minutes. That was, you know, a shot, I guess you'd call it that, but there was nobody in between on defense or any kind of screening. The goalie, Everest. And we're going to have another penalty. We've had our share, especially in that second period.
Well, there were a total of 5 penalties called in the second period, 4 of them on Mosinee. So now the referees want to talk it over. It's an interference call.
It's on Mosinee this time.
Looks like it's on the Evergreens. Number 6 is
Or
up on the board.
It is on the Evergreens on the board.
So the
right.
penalty is on Ryan Begley, 2 minutes for interference, and this puts the Indians on the power play.
Well, and the Indians down by 2 goals now. If they could take advantage of this, they'd be right back in it. So it's going to be a big, big 2 minutes for Mosinee especially. Because if they can't come through in the power play situation, they've struggled 5-on-5 all night long. Now they set it up in the neutral zone. trying to spread it out. And we're going to have an offside. Haven't had many of those.
A little bit too eager, trying to get the puck into the zone to get things set up. Spencer Schmerler came across the line just a nick in advance, and it's called offsides.
Face off. Called by Mosinee. They're at the man advantage. See if they can take advantage of it. Off the board on the pass, on the attack. Trying to set it up now in the circle in front of us. Dump back down. The goalie leaves it for Zach Payan, number 10. He'll bring it back up. He's being dogged as he comes up by Ben Weller defensively. Round behind the net, Seth Payan, senior defenseman. Now they're just trying to get it out from around back of the net. And they finally do. Out at the slot, and the shot goes wide of the goalie. Here's another shot, and this time the Evergreens are able to clear it out.
Good coverage on the man short by the Evergreens. Flip the puck out of the zone. Well, we got another call coming here.
Yeah.
We got a cross check coming, and it looks like it will be on Mosinee.
So, with 24 seconds left in the power play for the Indians, now it's 5-on-5, and then it'll be power play Evergreens with that 2-goal lead inside 12 minutes left.
So the first penalty has 24 seconds left.
Yeah.
And as you said, George, in 24 seconds, then Mosinee will go on the power play.
Face off by the Mosinee net. Here's a slap shot.
Let me make a correction. The Evergreens will go on the power play after 24 seconds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Mike Alfonso sits for Mosinee, 2 minutes for cross-checking. We're just about ready to see the Evergreens go on the power play, and that penalty has expired.
Here they come. Out of the bench for the Evergreens, Ty Treader. Ty is a sophomore, a wing. There's a save, I think. There's a lot of blue and white in front of that net.
It's about a 5-player pileup down there.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to see. So we lost sight of the puck. The referees lost sight of the puck there. We have a whistle. And the face-off coming to the left of Zach Bednar.
Just over 11 minutes left. 3-1 Evergreens in this semifinal. Marathon Cup 2016 version, 40th year for the Marathon Cup. And of course it's been Marathon County. That's where they got the name from. Marathon County high school hockey teams competition every year early in the season. We've added a little bit of Lincoln County with Merrill High School as a co-op with East now, but
well, and historically there was a time where we had a Portage County flavor when Spash played in the Marathon
played,
Cup.
yeah, it was in there for a while. Evergreens backpedaling. They are in the power play, but they really have, you know, they've been content sort of to make sure they maintain possession and.
Well, they're showing a lot of discipline, working the puck around right now. They have a couple openings, but they're taking their time. And actually, this is probably as disciplined as we have seen the Evergreens tonight on the power play. Great save again by Bednar. He's got a great glove hand. Excellent glove.
You know, you're right. How many power plays did Mosinee defend? And
well, so they've had a total of, well, in the first 2 periods they had a total of 6 penalties.
Yeah.
So they did fight it off well. And that last goal was not a power play goal.
No.
We thought maybe with 1 second left it would be, but it wasn't. It was waved off, so it was no power play goal.
It was close. Evergreens have it now. Heading away from us as we look at things from rink ice level. Off to the left of the net, where the Evergreen goalie, and that is Mike Yonke, has had a pretty easy evening. Not a lot of shots on goal, not a saves for him.
Well, he's at 7 now.
Yeah,
he had 6 after 2 periods. After we get rolling a little bit here, especially into the second and third period, then the scorekeeper puts those saves up on the scoreboard, so at least we can take a peek there. And we've got a delayed call coming. Well, penalty coming against the Evergreens on the delay.
Is that the number on the scoreboard now, the saves?
Yes.
That's what I thought. 29 to 7.
Right, so we've got a penalty coming for elbowing. Number 8 for the Evergreens. Ben Weller, 2 minutes for elbowing. So now we see the Mosinee Indians back on the power play. So it's 5-on-4.
5-on-4, 3-1 the score. Everest out on top. And this is another critical 2 minutes for the Mosinee Indians, because down by 2 goals, you're going to be limited, especially with your offense lack of success here tonight, to score.
Well, and right now, Everest is just manhandling them on the man short, clearing the zone. It's sending Mosinee all the way back in to take possession of the puck, and they're working on that power play breakout. But it's interesting to me how much pressure Everest is putting on that breakout.
Here's a shot.
That was a bullet.
Yeah, off to the left of the goalie. A little check in the boards. That second period was a physical period here tonight. A lot of penalties.
This is a little bit more finesse play in the third.
Yeah.
Does that mean that they're tiring out or what? I'm not quite sure. But
the Evergreens have the lead now too, so they are protecting a lead, especially like in a power play situation like this. Now they're willing to just use up the clock, take advantage of any situation. Mosinee's got to be a little frustrated. Nice job of skating, but trying to split 2 defenders. The skater Logan Milhausen, who's a freshman in there, was unable to do it. So the Evergreens will send it down. Back to retrieve from Mosinee, Seth Payan, senior defenseman. And as he retrieves, we're down to, 15 seconds left in the penalty. Mosinee flips it over near side, and a whistle. Just a face-off coming up.
And we've seen it all night long, but the net's off. We talked about it in our first game, and we really haven't talked about it tonight in this game, that is. But for some reason, the net on our end doesn't want to stay anchored. So that's a stoppage of play. Face-off to the left of Yonke.
And in the penalty now, 6 seconds. And it'll be full strength, 5-on-5 coming up right now. So the Evergreens were able to maintain that 3-1 lead through that penalty killing unit out there, as they did the job again. Inside 7 minutes left in the game, and Everest up 3-1. They had a goal, led 1-0 after the first, 2-1 after 2, and scored a goal early, very early here in this third period. Since then, it's been pretty much back and forth. Right now, Mosinee just trying to get it away out of their zone. And they're trying to split the defenders, and Everest, they're doing a nice job of closing in.
Everest does a good job of moving the puck around. Right now, Mosinee's having a really tough time breaking the puck out of the zone. Players are probably not in the best position for the breakout, but Mosinee steps up and forces to keep the puck into the zone.
The Evergreens dump it behind the net. Now it comes out in the neutral zone. Dump back in by Everest. Just a dump and run. Mosinee just really struggling now. Matt Rebick. Oh, there's another Everest goal. They were trying to clear it out, and one of the Evergreens, I think, totally surprised the skater that time, right in the front of the crease. That's what it looked like to me.
It was
somebody was handling the puck, skating with the puck. Somebody came up and just surprised him.
You're correct, and it looked like J.J. Berdahl to me. And again, up with the play, and just this little bit of a flurry in front of the net. It's now 4-1 for the Evergreens, 1 for the Indians.
And with 5:38 left, Evergreens in great position now to move on to the championship contest with Wausau West for the Marathon Cup trophy. There's Everest again, a 2-on-1. Actually ended up being a pass behind the net. The Evergreens, again, we haven't seen them down on this end for quite a while. All the action's been, for the most part, on the other end. Another
big
nice save. Yeah,
oh, man.
That glove, I mean.
Point blank range. It was a rocket of a shot off of Bednar's glove. Golden opportunity to put the Evergreens up 5-1. But again, the upperclassman goaltender for Mosinee made a fabulous save. Big lead.
He's had a big night.
Nice job.
And the other goalie, Michael Yankee, he comes over here just to stay fresh. He hasn't had any action. I think he wants to get on camera. I think that's what the deal is.
Either that or he's got cold feet, one or the other. He's got to move around a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, we've got another one.
Yeah,
the floodgates are opening up right now.
Yeah. And the Evergreen line congratulating each other. Now they're going to have another line out there. It's 5-1. They've broken it open. They were up 2-1 entering this period, Stephen. They've scored 3 goals, 1 right away, and now 2 within a span of 40 seconds.
Well, they're putting a lot of pressure on the net, and you know what? As many pucks as Bednar stopped tonight, he's got to have help out in front. His defensemen need to help him out. Forwards need to help him out. It's so easy to point out what the goalie is or isn't doing, but in this case, he's not getting a lot of support out in front.
No. Honky leaves for a teammate, Evergreens. Send it in. Icing.
And with the icing, we want to make our little PSA here. You're watching tonight's game on the rebroadcast, and we thank Wausau Area Access Channels for doing our work for us tonight. There's a great system set up. It's a 3-camera system, and we just want to thank everybody for their help. The rebroadcast is available on Charter Cable Channel 981, and the game will also be available on the internet at waac.viebit.com. Or if you're interested, you could buy a copy of tonight's game on DVD. Call our office at 715-261-6550 and leave a message. The cost is $10 plus shipping and handling, and you won't be sorry. It's a great keepsake. You'll look at it 5 years from now and say, wow, was that a great Marathon Cup in 2016.
The Evergreens in total control on the scoreboard, up 5-1, and handling the puck either in the neutral zone or on the attack. The goalie, Bednar, gets his paws on another one out in front.
So the public address announcer is talking about the championship game and the consolation game. So we think that with 3:37 left, it's been established that the Evergreens are in pretty good shape here. Yep. We never want to say it's over until it's over, but we are thinking about already the championship and the consolation games in the Marathon Cup.
Well, Mosinee was in their attack offensive zone for what? A few seconds. Then right back. There's a stick over here on the left on the ice. Somebody's stickless.
Coach Van Slyke making a couple substitutions, getting some players a little ice time tonight in the Marathon Cup. Good to see as many on the bench getting some ice time as possible. That's what it's all about, as many players skating in this tournament as possible.
Fill me in if I'm wrong on that. Didn't Van Slyke come from Northland Pines?
Actually, Danny played right here.
He played here.
Yes, he did. He was a player here. He replaced Jacques Duvar, who came from Northland
Oh,
Pines.
okay, it was
So,
Jacques.
yeah, Dan is
I
local youth and high school hockey star.
Okay.
He's a physical education teacher at Mountain Bay, and he's done a great job with this program. They have the most beautiful facility. He has a great coaching staff, and the parent and player support is really strong, and I'm happy for Dan. Good young coach, and he's got a wonderful team.
Almost a breakaway, but good defense move that time for the Evergreens. Yeah, I'm one coach behind here. See,
that's okay, because here's what's happening, George, to both of us. These are second and third generation, so players who I used to coach against back in the 80s are now high school coaches themselves.
Yeah.
Danny Van Slyke and Troy Mikulski for Mosinee.
Right. Yeah, that name I'm very familiar with it. Well, we're down to 2:06 left.
Shots for the Evergreens right now stands at 34, and for Mosinee 8. So that's kind of a tale of the game.
Yeah.
The Evergreens have really outshot Mosinee tonight, and that's really the tale of the tape. 5-1 with 2 minutes left in the third.
And the Evergreens control once again. You know, when you watch play here the last 10 minutes or so of this third period, and you look back, you know, this game was 1-0 after the first period, 2-1 after the second. Here's a chance for a shot by Mosinee, and he just missed everything across the crease. A little bit of a rush on it, I think, trying to get a shot off.
Well, the Evergreens have come alive in the third. Is that for the Indians a function of being tired? Is it a function of depth, opportunities? But again, what really tells the tale would be the shots on goal.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Mosinee in that second period, they had too many penalties, which open up, you know, opportunities for Everest, even if they didn't take advantage of some of those.
Exactly.
I mean, even if the other team doesn't score, you're still wearing them down a little bit if you have a power play.
And there were some longer shifts, and there were some imbalances with lines, so a lot of things happen when a penalty takes place. A lot of times players don't take that into consideration.
Yeah.
If I take a penalty, what happens to my team? Well, it throws everything off for a couple shifts. We're down to 30 seconds.
You can see the action out there as they're gonna, you know, play hard right to the final buzzer. Number 10 for DC Everest, Brandon Jillick, a sophomore defenseman. Very involved. There it is. Our semifinals are now history. In game one, it was Wausau West over Merrill Wausau East. In game two, it was DC Everest, similar score, not exactly the same, but similar, over Mosinee 5-1. So it'll be the Evergreens and the Warriors in the final. The preliminary in the final will be Merrill Wausau East co-op team and the Mosinee Indians. And Steve, this is kind of what we thought might happen, just because of the programs, even though it's early in the year. Almost just too much on one side.
Everest is off to a good start. The Warriors are ranked number 3 in the state of Wisconsin at this point as of December 5th. We really didn't talk about that during that game. But as you said, George, it was predictable. The Evergreens are off to a good start, knocking off Milwaukee University School. They're on their home ice. They played well tonight. So I think we're going to see a fantastic championship game, but not to take away from the two consolation teams.
Not at all.
We'll be seeing them in advance starting at 5:30 on Saturday night. So it's been great working with you, George, and thanks for letting me tag along.
What do you mean, let? I invited you, okay?
I tagged along.
No, no, you didn't.
I think we better wrap it up.
I think so. Dave's over there. He's got the signal. You cut the throat thing, Let's go. Okay, final. Game 2. Evergreens 5. Mosinee 1. For Steve Miller, I'm George Hirsch. We thank you for watching in on our rebroadcast. Until next time, take care.